you need to listen to me right now. In almost every concept that I see or end up studying or navigating or reading about in books, there are conceptual entry points and exit points. And then there's the difference between studying the thing you're learning about, knowing it, and then sort of like going through it, being done with it if it's not your primary interest or if it's not your primary career choice. There are sort of like stops. You might decide that while you're studying occultism or goetic principles or maybe like magic things or something like that, you're tired of it now and you're done with it, but you think you get all the way to somewhere with your study on that thing. But if you don't go into the concept that you're trying to learn about with enough openness to, on your end, anticipate growing infinitely within that thing, within that practice, then I think that what happens is you'll just end up tapping out. You'll end up saying something like, oh, well, yada, yada, yada. All these philosophers always say the same thing at the end of these books. They all sort of feed off of each other and they point to basic conclusions. An example could be that Kant is messing with Hume, is messing with Descartes. All these people are sort of messing with each other's ideas, and at the end of all their books, they just say something like, oh, and by the way, there's really no way that we would have a good reason to confirm or deny any of this in a totally standardized way, in like a fascistic way. So you just have to kind of do something. That's a good example. So you, as a person who is not a full-time philosopher, a full-time studier of that kind of stuff, that specific brand, that specific branch of obtaining a type of wisdom or a type of knowledge, a type of expertise, which, mind you, is, fairly derived from within itself. It would be like coming up with a super unique type of sci-fi, right? Like not something that we're used to, not something like monster invades the body invades the monster, parasite, egg, invasion, all these things. You need to find something that you can just do infinitely, and you need to make sense to people a little bit. You have to make a little bit of sense to people, but you can't let that be any kind of primary objective for you. You have to to some extent, you have to live in your own space. You have to live in your own mind, in your own head, and you have to do that in a way that isn't egotistical to the extent that you begin seeing yourself. That is probably the great sin of the modern age, is that you can not only see yourself in insane new ways, but you can anticipate, gear up for, manipulate, and socialize how other people are going to be understanding you and thinking about what you're going to be doing next. So you have to do something like build models or look at trees or become obsessed with different types of ways that people handle their lawns or bird feeders, or making cast iron skillets or grilling. And I also don't think that the most important thing is developing a community around those things. I think the most important thing, and I'm not going to elaborate on this at all, is to just become interested in it because you like it and it's fun.